Hello there, my name is Alina. I hope you're well today and ready to learn more about the passive voice. So in the previous video we discussed the difference between the passive and the active voice, and in this video you will learn to use passive voice in positive, in negative sentences, and in questions as well. And before we start, let's take a look at this sentence. He makes airplanes. This is an active sentence because the subject, he, performs the action. Now let's try to see what will happen if we transform this sentence into the passive voice. We will get airplanes are made by him. So let's take a careful look at the transformations that happened. When we want to change an active sentence into the passive one, first we need to find the subject and the object of the sentence. And we also need to identify the main verb and its tense. So the subject of the active sentence is he, and the verb is makes. And here it's in the present simple form. And the object is airplanes. So like we have said before, we need to take the object and put it at the first place because the subject and the object will exchange their places in the passive sentence. So we'll start with airplanes. Now we need to put the verb into the past participle form. To make in the past participle is made. And we need to add the verb to be before it. But since the original active sentence is in the present simple tense, we need the present form of the verb to be, and it's am, is, or are. But since the subject is airplanes, we need the verb to be are. So we have airplanes are made. Now we only need to add the object, and to show who performs the action, we add by before the object. Now the subject of the active sentence is he, and it becomes by him to show that this is not the subject but the object of the sentence. And as a result we have airplanes are made by him. Now let's try to transform the following sentence. George won many awards. Once again, first we need to find the subject and the object of the sentence, and we need to identify the main verb and its tense. So the subject of the active sentence is George, and the verb is to win. And here it's in the past simple form, right? It's the second form of the verb to win. To win, won. And the object is many awards. So like we have said before, the subject and the object will exchange their places in the passive sentence. So we will start with many awards. So now we need to put the verb in the past participle form, and we need to add the past simple form of the verb to be before it. So win becomes won, and the verb to be for the past simple tense is was or were. But since the subject is many awards, it's plural, the verb to be should be were. So we have many awards were won by George. Once again, we add by George to show who performs the action. Notice that the name and nouns do not change their forms, only pronouns change their forms, but names and nouns, they remain the same. So once again, how do we form passive voice in the present and past simple? We take the main verb, put it in the past participle form, and we add the verb to be before it. So in the present simple, the verb to be will be am, is, are, depending on the subject of the sentence, and in the past simple it will be was or were, once again depending on the subject of the sentence. And remember that we use by plus object or object pronoun to say who does the action. Now let's take a look at a negative sentence and let's try to transform it into the passive voice. They don't play rugby here, they play only football. Once again, first we need to find the subject and object of the sentence, and we need to identify the main verb and its tense. So the subject of the active sentence is they, and the verb is play. And here it is in the present simple and negative form, don't play, and the object is rugby. So the subject and the object once again exchange their places, and we will start the sentence with the object in the passive voice. Now we need to put the verb in the past participle form. Play becomes played. And since the active sentence is in the present simple, we need the present simple form of the verb to be, which in this case is, because the subject is rugby. The only thing that we are missing here is the negative form. Since the active sentence is in the negative form, we need to add negation not after the verb to be. Very easy, isn't it? So let's try another sentence. He didn't take this photo in winter. Now this sentence is in the past tense, and in the past tense the changes are absolutely the same, except that the verb to be will be in the past form. For example, the sentence will become, this photo was not taken in winter. Notice that we can omit the by phrase here. Here we omitted by them, by him. We can also omit by us, by people, because in some sentences it's not important who performs the action. So once again, the only difference between statements and negations is that we add not right after the verb to be. Now let's take a look at questions and how we form them. Let's try to transform the question, do people keep monkeys in zoos, into the passive voice. In the active sentence, the difference between a question and a statement is in the position of the auxiliary verb that comes at the very beginning of the sentence. The same happens in the passive voice. As always, we start by finding the subject and the object of the active sentence and by identifying the main verb and its tense. So the subject of the active sentence is people, and the verb is to keep. And here it's in the present simple form, and the object is monkeys. So, like we have already mentioned before, the object of the active sentence will become the subject of the passive sentence. Now we need to put the verb in the past participle form and to add the present simple form of the verb to be. So keep becomes kept, and the verb to be in the present simple for monkeys, which is plural, is are. But since it is a question, the verb to be goes at the first place before the subject. As a result, we have are monkeys kept in zoos. You can add by people if you want to, but we usually do not add information like this because in this case it's obvious that monkeys are kept in zoos by people and not by cats or dogs. Okay, let's try another one. Did the snake scare her? In the past tense, the same changes take place, with the only difference that the verb to be will be in the past form. So, did the snake scare her will become, was she scared by the snake? So, as you have seen, the main difference between a statement and a question is in the position of the auxiliary and the subject. So the auxiliary verb comes at the very beginning of the sentence, and it's followed by the subject and the past participle of the verb. Okay, now let's try to put it into practice and let's see how well you've got it. Pause the video if you need more time and rewind the video if you need to review some aspects. I will give you a sentence and you will need to transform it into the passive voice. So ready? Let's try it. Sasha made a snowman. Try to transform this sentence into the passive voice. Remember that you first need to identify the subject of the sentence, the object of the sentence. You need to find the main verb and identify its tense. Pause the video if you need more time, and when you are ready, and the answer is a snowman was made by Sasha. Did you get this one? Okay, let's try another one. He hugs Santa. Once again, pause the video if you need more time. And the answer is Santa is hugged by him. How well did you do on this one? How well did you do on this one? Okay, here is something more difficult for you. The squirrel didn't eat the nut. Pay attention that here you have the negative form. Ready? And you should get the nut wasn't eaten by the squirrel. Did you get this one? Okay. How about the next one? Do they make cakes of flour? Remember that here we have a question, so remember the position of the auxiliary verb. And when you're ready, and you should get are cakes made of flour. Hope you got this one. Okay, how about the next one? Did they drive the car? And when you're ready, and you should get was the car driven by them? Did you get this one? Okay, let's try another one. She takes pictures. This should be an easy one for you. And when you're ready, the answer is pictures are taken by her. Did you get this one? Okay, let's try the last one. He wore glasses. And when you're ready, glasses were worn by him. I hope you did really well on this one. Great job, and now you know how to form the passive sentences in the present and past simple. Do the exercises in the virtual Sabana to get the hang of it, and ask your tutor for extra clarifications if you have any questions or doubts. Okay, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.